What is up, Oaks? Welcome back to the Fighting YouTube channel, and it's my favorite video of the week. If you don't know, it's my betting video. Yeah, what more can I say except for I love doing this video because I love making some money, and I love seeing how the outcomes are for these bets after the UFC. We've been looking pretty good lately with the UFC bets, with the Dana White Contender Series bets. PFL bets will be out tonight on my Instagram. We haven't really been doing so well there, but I always just chuck down a parlay for fun. So without further ado though, we'll get into this. I will say pretty low confidence. No, not low confidence, sorry. I'm just a bit cautious with these odds, so I don't have too many bets at the moment. If you guys know, I always post more bets on my Instagram during the fights. So with this fight being in the afternoon, you really should stay active and stay on my stories because I will be posting more bets as I think of them. But I've got a bunch written down that are my best ones so far. In general, very weird card, a lot of heavy favorites, and then a lot of really close matchups, a lot of tough ones to call how they'll finish, what the outcome will be. So it's an interesting card. I seem to every week almost be saying I'm not too sure, and then I kind of get into it a bit more. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of actually, cheeky ones. But I will say parlays are becoming less and less my vibe. I'm much more enjoying the straight bets because those straight bets usually come to fruition, much better than the parlays. But anyways, let's just get straight into it. So we will mention my, 4 favorite underdogs for the card, which includes Kyle Dorcas at 3.3, Kevin Borjas at 2.45, Waldo Cortez Acosta at 3-1, and Charles Johnson at 2.7. So what I will say, Chris Dorcas coming up against Michel Pereira. Dorcas returning to the UFC. Pereira has looked ass in his last 2 performances. So if he doesn't show up, this could be a nice underdog win for Dorcas. Borjas, I honestly picked him originally to win this fight against Sumaderji. I think it's going to be very close. And with that good of a number on Borjas, I think it's a decent shot. And then Waldo Cortez Acosta is my underdog of the week. Maybe slightly biased, maybe not. I do like the guy, but I also think he just kept getting slept on. This is a very big test for him, but honestly, I can see him pulling it off. And then with Charles Johnson against Lanier Kavanagh, I am backing Lanier Kavanagh, but Charles Johnson, obviously veteran of the game. And at 2.7, there is good value for money on that. So that explains my favorite underdogs. Then we'll move into the only parlay I have for you at the moment. We'll see if any more come out. But we're going for Nuraji versus Crosby under 1.5 rounds. Pavlovich versus Cortez Acosta over 1.5 rounds. Ortega versus Sterling to go the distance. So it's a 3-fight round sort of parlay. Crosby, I think, is going to get finished in the first. Pavlovich, Cortez Acosta, I do think will go the distance, but they have good odds on over 1.5, so I think that's a good one. And then, it's heavyweight, so there could always be a finish. And then Ortega versus Sterling to go the distance. I don't see a finish in this one. Maybe I could be wrong, but we'll see. And that clocks in at 3.58. Then our final 2 bets, Gage Young by knockout, 3.25. So Gage Young is a small favorite against Maheshet Hahisayer. Definitely pronounced that wrong. I'm not sure why I pronounced it like he was Arab when he's Chinese. Hahisayer. It's probably I don't even know. Anyways, we'll move on. But Gage Young by knockout at 3.25. Maheshate has been knocked out by Nicholas Motta, which is not a bad knockout, not a great one. Obviously, Young does have some power in his hands. I think he's got 6 wins by knockout. So there is some more value on that. So another sort of thing to sprinkle there. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then our final bet, Oaks. I was looking at, obviously, Zhang Mingyang by knockout is going to be super low odds. And even Zhang Mingyang round 1 is super low because all of his UFC finishes are coming in the first round. So we are going for Zhang Mingyang KO in round 2 at 8-1. The reason I've gone for this is because he is coming up against someone like Johnny Walker who has experience in the octagon. Yes, Johnny Walker has a glass chin, but at the same time, he can still survive it and make it to the second round. I think he gets cracked in round 1. Maybe he doesn't get knocked out. Yeah, the only reason I'm taking this shot is I think because Zhang Mingyang by KO round 1 or KO flat is just, there's no value on it. It's literally 1.5 to 1 or something. So it's like, what's the point on that? So this is just a little bit of a long shot, Zhang Mingyang in round 2, 8 to 1. We'll see what happens. But yeah, those are the bets I have for you at the moment. Make sure to follow my Instagram, fightscene.za, so you don't miss the ones that I add on Saturday morning. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll check you in the next one.